our colors play well off of each other.
And also the vulva wallpaper in these rooms is really a treat. So yeah, people can talk to us down there.
Okay, cool.
And then they can maybe ask us questions if anyone else has questions during this that you want us to answer. And I just realized I didn't introduce you or myself. I just assumed everyone knew who we are. But this is Sandra, and she works at SheVibe.
Hi.
And I'm Epiphora, and I am a blogger. Okay. In case you didn't know. Well, you know, sex toy review blogger. We'll start with a question that was submitted in advance. Thank you for the hearts. They also can do hearts.
That's awesome.
If they like us, so that's good. Jamie Gump on Twitter wants to know, what is your favorite toy of the last year versus your favorite toy of all time? How has your criteria changed in the way you judge toys? I think favorite of all time is pretty easy, because when I went in for my manicure that I just got of all these sex toys on my nails, there were 2 toys that I knew I had to have without question, and one was the Pure Wand. The Pure Wand is always the first one I think of, so the Pure Wand is probably my favorite toy of all time. And in the last year, I'm actually really excited about the SheVibe Rave. I think it's really, really cool and app compatible, which I never thought I would care about, but but it's such a good app.
How do I not know that? The Rave is app compatible?
Yeah. They don't make a
really
big deal out of
that.
it. No, they really don't. Like, I didn't know when I got it for review that it was app compatible until I looked at the box.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, shit, awesome.
We have to talk about that.
So, yeah, and the app is rad. Have you used the SheVibe app?
We have.
It's cool.
We have.
Yeah. I haven't tried the thing where you can actually do a video. Like, you can video chat each other. Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
They know what's up. So... But
no,
I like
SheVibe is awesome.
Yeah, I love SheVibe, and I love the shape of it, and I love the settings. It's very rumbly and it's inexpensive. That was what really kind of tipped me over to really liking it. So that's one I'm really excited about. Yes. Okay. Let's do one. I'll ask you one. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay. Yes, I want to know about like day-to-day operations, because I feel like I don't quite understand, what goes on in your life. And
I have realized that my whole day is relationships. It's either customer relationships, it's vendor relationships, it's affiliate relationships, it's relationships.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work, but it's totally worth it, because at the end of the day, that's really all you have, is just to keep people interested in who you are and supporting you. But I'm oh gosh, what's that word, saying that
Are you a people person?
I am a people person.
I was just guessing.
No, it's the jack of all trades, master of none.
Yes.
That's how I feel that I am. Like, I do everything.
Important, though.
I do everything, like, fast and quickly. I don't know that I do everything, like, really, really well. Like, Thor
is helpful.
Thor's amazing at coding. Alex is amazing at artistry. Keith is amazing at graphics. I'm amazing at being really quick, getting in and out, getting things done.
Right.
And fixing problems. But, yeah, that's really what my whole day is, problem solving.
That sounds kind of terrifying, though.
It is.
I mean,
but it's also satisfying, because what else are you going to do?
Yeah, this industry is very
problematic.
Yes, that. But I was going to say it's very relationship oriented. And
right.
Sometimes I feel like I'm being a faux therapist to people.
No, you know what? Tristan Taormino said one of the most amazing things to us, and it has stuck with me, that people make you responsible for their orgasms when you do what we do.
Yeah.
And when you realize what a huge responsibility that is, you have to take that seriously, and you have to honor anything that they're asking is okay. Anything that they need to know is okay. Even in my realm, if I'm like, oh my goodness, that's such a odd question, that I take a step back and I'm like, no, that's a great question.
Right.
Because it's bothering them. It's on their mind. Everybody lives in a different bubble. And it's really, that's what I have to do, is I have to pop everyone's bubble. That's what I do.
Yep. I agree. Let's see. Do you want to read the one you had for me?
Oh, I don't have my glasses.
Can you? Or do you want me to read the one you had for me?
Read the one you had for me. Oh, no.
She had a question for me, and if you have questions too, someone's excited about bubble popping.
Oh.
So, cool. Glad we're all on the same page about bubble popping. So Sandra wanted to know, I've been asked this question before, but I've never given a very good answer to it. I'm not sure I have one yet, but if you had access to unlimited resources and the world's greatest engineers, what would you create as the ultimate pleasure toy? But the wrench you threw in it was saying, like, access to these really top...
Right.
Like, people always say, if you could design a sex toy, what would it look like? And that always trips me up, because I don't know that I can design a sex toy that's going to be the right shape.
Well, if anyone could design it, you could.
You would think, but I can't draw.
Oh,
so,
I know someone that can.
I know, but literally describing what I want to someone is difficult. So, but, I mean, it would be really cool to have access to, like, really good motors.
Yes.
You know, motors that I could
Motors
feel
are
and
everything.
say, oh, wow, this is really different from this one, and I definitely want that one. Like, so... It's not like an exciting answer, but my answer is I just would make a really good vibrator.
Right.
Because I feel like I could do that. And
right.
it would hit all the points that I always like a vibrator to hit. But I don't know if I have like a special shape in mind that I think would be
that. I think
amazing.
that's the hardest part, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all shaped so differently, and everyone keeps trying to come up with this perfect shape. It doesn't exist.
Right.
That would be the vibe to come up with, something that morphed.
Yeah.
With a great motor, but you know, it was something we brought our shipping manager in recently, almost a year ago now, and I was trying to explain to her the difference between rumbly and buzzy.
Yes.
And she had never even thought about it. She never even knew it mattered.
Yeah.
But when I handed her 2 different vibrators, she went, oh, I get it.
Yep.
It's completely life-changing.
It really is, yeah. This is really awkward. Are manufacturers better nowadays about using body-safe materials? Yes. I think there's more education around it, and so you will find companies that exclusively make things out of body-safe materials. Or do you still have to do a lot of sleuthing? Well, you have to do some sleuthing, because if you don't do the sleuthing, you end up at the big manufacturers, and those are the ones that have some silicone and some non-silicone.
Right. They're getting better, though. They really are. Everyone's
Yeah.
making a huge push to try to make silicone a larger part of their offering. But there's a space for the other stuff that we'll talk about at some point.
There is a space for
Because
the
I
other
will
stuff.
answer that
Maybe
question.
we should just talk about
Yes,
it.
maybe we should just get it out there.
You
Rip
know,
that Band-Aid off.
Continuity. My question is about stock and how you decide what to stock, because as an online-only business, you have different considerations than a brick-and-mortar business. And there are certain brands, like Pipedream, that a lot of bloggers hate, me included, but they also make some toys that are not that bad.
Right.
And you stock them, which I appreciate, because it's helpful to give to some people just need a cheap glass toy.
Exactly.
And Pipedream makes that toy.
And that's exactly why we stock them. There's a lot of folks that are looking to delve into certain areas, like nipple clamps. A $6.99 nipple clamp is a great place to start.
Right.
As opposed,
no one's going to spend $35 on their first nipple clamps.
So when
usually.
you talk novelty, that's what these companies provide you with. There's also variety. And one of the things that you can't get in silicone, because it would cost you hundreds of dollars, is a 12-inch long, 3-inch wide. People want that experience.
Big. Silicone is so expensive.
So expensive.
Yeah.
It's incredibly expensive for companies to manufacture. And who would pay that? You just want to try this out. And as Ducky said, and I love
What if
Ducky,
it doesn't fit and then
it's
you
the
just spend...
Tijuana experience. I just want to try this thing out.
Tijuana.
Let's see how it goes. But really, you stock those brands because of their price point. And the fact that you're trying to reach as many people as you can and educate them from there. Right. So that's what we try to do, is educate you while you're on the page. You're like, hey, this might not be the best material. This, we don't stock anything with phthalates, but we do have porous toys, and I know there's a lot of controversy about that, and I get it. But there's a space for its demand, plain and simple. People want these bigger toys, and you cannot afford to buy a $300 cock just for one night. You just can't. So there's special care that needs to be taken.
Right.
There's caveats, just like, drinking and food and all the other bad things that we do.
Wait, you can't go overboard with sex toys?
Well, maybe you can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's why we stock those brands. And the fact that we're an online-only business makes a huge difference, too. Because you have, if I'm being honest, you have to have as many SKUs as you can. And so we're really trying to only have brands that are reputable, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. A lot of the boutique brands, you want to give them a fighting chance, but it's not always
It's not going to
plausible.
sell as well as everything
right.
else.
You got to get their name out there, and that's tough.
Yeah.
So support those boutique brands because we love them.
Yes, I mean, those are great, but I completely agree. It's frustrating when I am affiliated with a company, but they really only have like super high-end stuff.
Right.
Because it's impossible to
right.
recommend.
We have
them
everyone
as a
from
retailer.
college kids. I mean, people on budgets, and it's important to offer. It's important to offer everything. There's certain things that we won't stock just because we feel like we're not the site to go to for that. There's more extreme. Extreme
like
fetish,
more bondage stuff,
right?
Yeah.
That's really not who we are. Which is fine. There's other places for that, and I'll tell a customer, listen, this is where you want to go for something that's a little more extreme. But we want to offer the widest range possible for the people that we think are interested in who SheVibe is.
Yeah, and I agree. Well, and you say you have a lot though, but it's very curated.
It's all the realistics.
It's completely curated.
The only thing that you'll see that is in a material that we would prefer it not to be. It's just those realistic.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of realistic dildos that are silicone.
It's hard to replicate that feeling.
And they're all really expensive.
And they're all really expensive. Well, there's a Tom of Finland. Oh my goodness, this thing's amazing. But it's $300.
Right.
It comes in like its own
chunk.
Its own box in a case. It's got like a display case.
It's better for $300.
And it's called cake. It's like you want it all day long. It's expensive. And who can afford that? Very few people.
I've seen like the square peg toys in person.
Oh,
and it's mostly a gay male audience. So there are a lot of really big toys, but they're all silicone.
Right.
But they are hella expensive and very heavy.
Right. Oh no, this box is like a 15-pound box.
It's like a tentacle like this long, and I was like, wow.
Where does that go?
I'm impressed in so many ways right now.
So many ways. I have a funny story. There was someone had ordered the cowboy, the Tantus cowboy, which is really big and firm. And, that line was created for gay men.
Yeah.
But of course, anyone who wants to buy it can buy it. And it was really funny because this gentleman had called. I can't remember what his actual question was. But what he ended up saying was, he said he wasn't going to put it, I'm not going to put it in her vagina. And I'm like, what? Like
you wanted to reassure you.
Unthinkable that it was going to go in her vagina. It was going in her ass. And I'm like, what is the difference? I don't understand. Anyway.
Yeah, there's different considerations, too.
Yeah, lots of different considerations.
I mean, you definitely can get further in the ass. That's like a...
Yeah, but there has a starting
medical
point,
right? Not really. That's the problem with the ass. Let's answer this one. This is from Backwoods Bedroom on Twitter. She wanted to know, what is the biggest mistake you typically see new sex toy reviewers making? I want to avoid it.
Okay, don't buy followers. Do not buy followers.
Yeah, that is a weird thing that
don't do that. It's so easily detectable and obvious, and it makes you look like a liar. It's not good.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I see people doing. I also see...
You see that pretty often?
I've seen it more than I want to.
Okay.
But I see baby bloggers. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just mean that this is a really hard... this is a really hard thing to do and make work for you. So if you want to make this your business, you need to pay your dues. And I'm not saying that in the sense that it's a special club or anything like that. But you have to grow your following organically. And that means that because you know what you're doing. And we all make mistakes, as we know. Yeah. You probably look back at some of your old stuff and you're like, oh my God.
I've read my old... Yeah, my blog posts are bad, but my tweets are also bad. Terrible.
We used to do a magazine Did you ever know about that?
I did know about that.
We don't want that on the internet at all anymore.
Let's pretend that didn't happen.
Let's just pretend that didn't happen. So you have to be willing to make those mistakes. You have to be willing to stick it out. It is tough, hard work, and you cannot take any shortcuts. No shortcuts.
No. Well,
just
and something,
put in the work.
A point that I've made before about buying followers is that if you're buying them, they're not actually people,
they don't
really,
give a shit
and
about
they don't
you.
actually care about
Right.
you. So to actually get people and to be successful as a blogger, you have to have followers who care
Right.
about you,
Right.
not just
who will engage, that
Yeah,
want
who
to
will
talk
engage,
with you. But that's the
who
other
will
thing you have to
trust
be
you.
willing to do is you have to be willing to talk with them and take all of the stuff that comes with that, right?
Yeah.
You know that. It's like sometimes it's not pretty, but you have to be willing to go, oh, all right, I got this.
How much of an improvement is the new Tantus Ryder? Someone wants to know. I don't own it, but I have other toys with that base, like the Neo, which is
The base
very similar.
I don't have any experience with it, but the base looks much more friendly.
It's pretty. I mean, I think it's pretty nice. To people who don't know, this is a butt plug, and it is just kind of a bulb, and then the new base is kind of curved, so
Right.
it's supposed to like be more ergonomic.
Right, it's more ergonomical.
In
It's
your-
not flat
outside
and
of your
square.
butt. Yeah.
It's the shape of your butt.
So I feel like it's a good idea. I don't know if it's worth buying again if you already own the Ryder.
Right.
I probably wouldn't do that.
I would buy it again. Buy it from us.
Yeah, or you could buy it again. I mean,
Ryder
go
flash
for
sale.
it. If you feel really good about the colors, they're making it in purple and black.
Right.
Mine is orange, so I'm really spoiled, and I see
You
the
have
orange.
an orange Ryder?
Yeah, it's old, so that's
What?
why. I actually have a peacock Ryder too.
I love the peacock and I love the copper. Tantus,
Oh, do
bring
you?
those
That's
back.
probably controversial that you like the copper that
Ooh,
much.
Really? I like
Some
the
people
copper.
love it, but I don't.
Oh, let's talk.
I mean, it's better than purple, but
Right.
anything is. Literally anything's better than purple and pink. I will take any color.
Any color.
Let's see. I want to know about the worst phone call or something very memorable about that you've had as a phone call.
Okay. This actually might make me cry because
Oh no.
no. Okay, so I've run customer service for SheVibe forever, and I always answered the phone. Answering the phone is tough. You're put on the spot. You have to have the answers right away, and you're not always confident in the response that you're giving.
Mm.
But what started to happen was over the years, I would get these creeper phone calls that were just terrifying because I thought I'm giving good customer service, but they're very sneaky.
That's the horrible line that you're
Yes.
always walking.
And I didn't want to shame anyone. And I'm like,
Yep.
ew, that's gross. Why are you asking me that? And I
Yep.
started to realize that there was a line of inappropriateness that was being crossed. And it triggered something in me that I can't reconcile. So that's why sometimes it makes me want to cry. Like, literally, I've gotten off the phone, like, in tears. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot believe that just happened to me. I feel abused.
Yep.
So we decided, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago? Talking to the hubs.
Talking to the wall. There's
Talking to
there's
the
no
wall.
one in
There's
this room.
no one
It's
else here
very
but
weird.
us. I have people that...
I have imaginary friends.
Imaginary friends.
And they know the answers.
That I wouldn't answer the phone anymore because it was too upsetting. It was literally too upsetting.
Yeah.
So every now and then I have to answer the phone. It just happens. Sometimes people call and they want to speak to a woman. It's usually another female presenting person, and I get that, and absolutely I'll get on the phone with them. But just the other day, I didn't answer the phone in months. And just the other day, everybody was out of the warehouse. I don't know where everyone went, and it was just me. And I can't not answer the phone. My phone is ringing.
Oh, that's...
And
yeah.
holy crap, what do I get? I get a creeper, and I get a guy they're so subtle, and he's just...
I know, it's very sneaky.
It's really sneaky, because before you know it, you're in this conversation, and you're like, how did
too
this
late.
happen? It's too late. Well, what I usually do is pound on the desk. I start pounding and... But I couldn't find an out of this conversation. I usually say, can you hold for just a minute? I have another phone call coming in, but I couldn't get out of this phone call without... And I couldn't decide until about 2 minutes in that this guy was,
that it was a creeper call and
he
not
was
a
being
legitimate
creeper.
call.
And so he wanted to know if his penis was going to be as big as the dildo he was buying. When they start asking those questions, that's inappropriate. You can Google that shit.
Yes.
You don't need me to answer that for you. You don't need to explain to me how it looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me how you look when you're hard.
Nope.
That's usually a bad sign.
Not relevant.
So, yeah, I stopped answering the phone. And what I've decided now is I just won't ever answer the phone again. I don't care if it rings. I'll go to voicemail.
I think that's a legitimate thing to do.
I can't do it because really, to be honest with you, it wrecks me. It wrecks me.
I know.
And I think it's terrible because so many of us go through that work in this business. And it really sucks. And you wonder, why do these people not have an outlet somewhere else? Is there some other way that they could be helped?
Right. Yeah.
Or get this need filled? But it just seems like a really shitty way to get off. And I fucking hate it. I hate it so much.
Me too. I get it at work too, and it's always difficult because it's that line where it always sounds mostly like
legitimate, right? Right.
And you don't want to be the dick who's like, well, fuck off right away because you don't know. Right. Maybe they really do just want to know about penis pumps. But guess what? They never just want to know about penis pumps.
No.
That's what I've learned. If they're starting to ask me about penis pumps, what do penis pumps do?
Right.
How do they work? Still trying to find the right answer.
Tell me about your size queen section.
Oh, no.
You gotta get rid of that. That's going away, by the way.
Oh.
No size queen section. No, it's really bad.
Just because of that.
45 minutes on the phone before I realized, like, oh gosh.
That's terrible.
Yeah, we've had some really awful, and they would call over and over and over because I was the sucker answering the phone. You know, let's face it, it's probably more about power than it is about sex.
Oh, it's absolutely about power.
Other conversation.
That's the thing is they have you on the phone.
Right.
It's your job.
Right.
They know that you don't want to become upset with them because it will make you look bad as a business. And that's what pisses me off is that they know they have that sort of thing above my head.
Yeah.
Because I always feel really shitty after them too. I just feel like a sucker.
Yeah.
And also just degraded. So that's good. all the things at once. That's cool.
All the things.
Yes. But I feel like it has made me stronger, like, in certain ways.
That's I feel like it hasn't made me stronger. It keeps
it made you stronger in the sense that you realized that was detrimental to your well-being.
Right. You know how to create a boundary now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I didn't know about boundaries until this
Why have boundaries? Yeah, you have to have them, though. It's important. Let's see. It's already 5:25. Just FYI.
Holy crap!
I know. This is what I thought. I was like, we're going to talk forever. It's
my god!
It's never going to end. So you guys are stuck here forever. That's okay.
Are you talking to my imaginary friends?
Yes.
What the fuck?
I can see them now.
Welcome to my world.
Let's see. Oh, you wanted to know from me, what are your go-to toys when a newbie asks for vibe recommendations, dildo recommendations, butt toy recommendations? Is it difficult to think in those terms after years of honing your own pleasure toy preferences? Yes. The answer is yes. It is. You know what I find the most difficult is G-spot toys.
Yeah.
Because people want to know how to find their G-spot, what's the best toy for that.
And they're all in a different location for everybody, so that's not
and they're all
location, not like in your armpit, but you know.
Sometimes it's up here. That would be very
difficult. A lot of times it's up here, right? If you want to get technical.
It's true. Good point. But people are at such a different point in their lives and their G-spot exploration that is so hard for me to think back to.
Right.
Because I had toys before I found my G-spot. Hate that phrase, but found.
It's elusive.
Felt the sensation for the first time. It's not too clunky, but that were G-spot toys, but when I tried them, I didn't feel anything.
Right.
I didn't get the G-spot sensation, and it was only after I like to say I became acquainted with my G-spot. After that happened, I could feel it from a lot more toys.
Right.
But I somehow had to get to that point.
But I think that is perfect that what you just said, get acquainted with it. You have to have the willingness to explore your own body, which is where we fall so very short. You just want this toy to
do it now,
do it for
today,
you, and it doesn't work
tonight.
That way. It's a process. It's a learning process. And, we have known other women to just say they don't have one. They just, and it's like, oh, honey.
I know, it's
so this is weird. I just want to branch off real quick and ask you what you think about this. Is, do you think that the dual stimulation toy is just something that people should stop trying to fucking do?
Rabbits?
Yeah.
I'm sick of them, yes, and I never have liked them. I have never
They're
found
too
one
specific.
that I would use specifically over using two toys.
Right.
I don't know. It's hard because there are people who love them, though.
Right.
And they would be very mad.
But they're the toy that's most likely to disappoint you.
Right? I would say yes.
Yeah.
Categorically,
right.
Most likely to disappoint you.
Everybody wants that Sex in the
would
City
be the
experience.
rabbit.
Yeah. Sorry.
And I try to say that to people. I really do. I try to explain to them. I mean, just think about it for a second. There's two parts of a toy, and they both have to work.
Match up to your
They both
body.
have to match your anatomy. You have to like it.
Right. Yep.
You have to like being penetrated while you get clitoral stimulation.
Right.
And some people don't even think that through.
Right.
And they're like, oh, wait, maybe I don't need penetration every time I masturbate.
Right.
Oh, wow, what a concept. So, yeah, yeah. I don't know if I want them to go away forever, but
you want them more.
I would like there
malleable.
to be more education around it so that people understand what they're getting into.
We had recently a really lovely customer call us and say, "Listen, I bought the magic wand and I bought the G Wizard, and I can't come from it." And I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm really sorry, But again, she made me responsible for her orgasm.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be callous and horrible and say that, that's just the way it works. It doesn't,
not everything's going to be perfect immediately.
Right. And she was really, I could tell she was really upset because then she wrote like a scathing review for the G Wizard. That's okay.
Oh, God.
I printed it. I let it go.
Okay.
Because she had to get her...
What was the problem with the G Wizard?
She said that the bumps were on the wrong side, but what she didn't understand was that the bumps on the other side of that cup are for a different stimulation. That's for when you're not penetrating yourself.
Right.
She wanted the bumps to be stimulating her clit while she was
that would have
penetrated.
changed the entire experience.
Right.
That's not
but she
possible.
Couldn't, and I couldn't get into it with her that, what, it's a lot of it is it's what's in your head at the time too. So maybe you're not in the right space.
Well, that's the thing is I never feel like I'm getting
her.
the full story from people.
Right.
They're giving me the fact that it didn't work and they didn't come, but there's no other information.
Right.
What's going on in your life?
Yeah.
I don't want to have to know all that.
Antihistamines. You might not be using lube. You
were upset that day.
Stress.
Someone just got voted off Big Brother and you were very upset about it. That would be me. I don't think it infringes on my orgasms, but I mean,
do you know
potentially it could.
Do you know that one of my best friends, that's his cousin, is Julie Chen.
What?
Yes.
I love Julie Chen. But first, I love her. She's so great.
Yeah, she's great.
Oh, man, yes. Half the reason I watch is because of Julie Chen.
Yeah.
Because
she just gets to stand back and go, what?
Yes.
I used to watch it.
Did you see it? Oh, you haven't watched it in years?
No. I watched the first 2 seasons, like Survivor, and then I dipped.
Oh, okay.
I went out.
Well, Julie Chen is amazing because she's mostly very stone-faced.
Yeah.
Like she's just doing her job, just reporting the facts.
Yeah.
But there was one house guest who was super racist, and
did she call him out?
She totally called her out when she got out of the house, and it was fantastic.
Yes,
she read her what she had said,
right,
and it was racist against Asian people. So she was just like,
"Get it,
explain yourself," and it was the greatest Big Brother, one of the greatest Big Brother moments.
That's excellent.
For sure. Yeah,
oh, Julie, you go, girl.
I love Julie Chen. Yeah, rabbits. I don't think they. I don't know. It's
down the rabbit hole.
They are hard. I've never found one that I liked enough to use.
I did find one that I liked, and I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but the Thundercloud by Vibratex was kind of impressive.
Well, there you go. And that's the thing. Here's the thing: is when it works for you,
right?
It's so impressive.
It does have those lights, though, too. It's
and it has lights. Lights are helpful. But you are so impressed by two things working for you at the same time that you get really excited about the toy. And so I think that's what happens is a lot of people have that toy that works for them and then they get excited about the mere concept of rabbits for anyone else.
Let me try all of the rabbits.
Not completely.
Oh, you know what we should tell people real quick is why they have those faces on them. You know about that?
I do know about that.
You're better at explaining stuff, so you go.
So rabbit vibrators, if you ever look at some of them, like the more old school styles, if you turn them around, they usually have a face on the shaft.
Which creeps people out.
It's very creepy. And it sometimes is trying to make the head of the penis shape look like hair.
Right.
It's very disturbing.
Yeah, like a great middle part.
Yeah, the perfect middle part. But the reason is, I think it was in Japan originally that they couldn't sell penis-shaped objects for sex purposes.
They can build them as statues in parks.
Right.
But don't put it inside your body.
Don't put it inside your body. So they put the face on it so that it was no longer a penis.
It's not a penis.
In case you're wondering, that's how you make something not a penis
But that's
anymore.
also the evolution.
Just draw a fucking
the
smile
dolphin
on
and the
it.
beaver and the rabbit. That's why. It's because, this innocent animal isn't here to get you off.
Right.
It's just here to be cute.
It's just here to be cute. It's just for decor.
Like us.
That's all we're here for. That's usually it.
We're just here for that.
But I think then it kind of spiraled into women must love these animal-shaped things. Let's continue to make animal-shaped things for the women.
We don't love that at all. I don't.
Well, if it were a walrus, yes. Because I love
like
walruses.
Wait.
I have a walrus collection.
A walrus has a lot going on that could be
No.
beneficial.
I was going to say bad because
No, but I see
maybe
all
if
the
they're
things.
soft, I guess, could be okay.
Or there's something, is it a Futurama?
That has that weird face. That's so disturbing. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
The only walrus sex toy that's ever been that I am aware of is a cock ring that's shaped like a walrus face. And I have it.
You know about everything before me.
It's
it kind of
green.
pisses me off. And it's green.
Well, it's just people know that I love walruses, so of course they were like,
I didn't know that about
look at
you.
this fucking
I've
cock
known
ring.
you forever.
I know, I keep it to myself.
Oh, such a bitch.
I should take a picture of my walrus collection because it's very impressive.
That's awesome.
It's over my washer and dryer in my house, so people come over and are very disturbed because they don't know in advance and they see
Listen,
this
I think I just have to come
collection.
visit you just for that alone.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
awesome.
great, and the lighting makes them look really demonic. So,
do you like candles and all?
No, it's just because it's from above and slightly behind. Like it just looks like they're like hello, and they're all walruses with tusks staring at you. So
I love
great.
that. I love that. I know that.
Yeah.
About you now.
So, do you collect anything? You have any collections?
Yes, we love elephants.
See, there we go. Tusks.
Is it the tusks? It's the tusks and the trunk. No,
the trunk.
No, I think elephants are the smartest being on the planet, and dolphins. All right, I'm going to get too dippy here. So
Dolphins are also good.
but elephants. If you were to come into our home, you'd be like, oh, hey.
And then the more you walk around, you're like, something's everywhere.
And it's funny because
elephants.
Thor and I both had the same love, and then we got together and we're like, oh, now we doubled our collection. This is great.
That's rad.
Isn't that cool?
I need to dump everyone. Find a new partner who collects walruses.
A walrus person.
Yes, because that would be awesome.
That's so epic, though. It's like saying, I collect jellyfish.
Thoughts on machines? Are you talking about fucking machines?
Oh, the fucking
I feel like you were the person who called me at work the other day. Someone just called and they were like, do you have machines?
Those are all the rage right now.
And I wanted to just say, like, what kind of machines? I want you to say fucking. I'm not going to say fucking to you because you clearly want me to say fucking, so I'm not going to say it. I don't have... I think that's what they're talking about.
It must be.
I can only assume.
They were all over the
cars? Are you talking about cars? I mean, yeah. But no, I haven't tried any fucking
robots.
machines. Robots.
We need robots.
I guess you could count the Sibian. I have a Sibian, so that's...
Well, you know what they have now? They have versions of the fuck saw. So it's like, I don't know.
So it's self-propelled.
It's self-propelled with either someone else holding it or you're...
Oh, I'm thinking of the manual ones.
Right, or you're positioning yourself up against it. I think that they come with a lot of caveats that you have to be careful. I think that people can get hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know that everybody wants to be rammed like that. I think you.
That's my problem with it. Is it seems really
it's like a guy thing. Like I just want to ram her. I don't know.
And it was a power tool, and I made it into a sex thing.
But a lot of them look like handheld power tools, and I think it might be a little bit more of a guy fantasy than really something that
actually is
females want.
I
don't know.
If I could have someone else hold it for me, yes.
Right.
But if I have to do that every time I use something...
But I also look at these in like one wrong move and, you're piercing something.
That's very true.
Right.
I mean...
I think you have to be careful.
Yeah, and I like a lot of thrusting sometimes, but I don't know if I want a lot of thrusting the entire time I'm using something.
Right.
Just go for it.
Slow down.
I'm not sure. So
no jackhammers.
My thoughts are I don't really know. Those are my thoughts.
And just be careful.
And be careful. Yeah. Don't die. Don't impale people with your fucking machines. Oh. Oh my god! Okay, so okay, we have to stop.
We'll come back to
this
Gandalf.
person just brought up the vagina kayak, which technically it's a vulva kayak.
Yes.
But have you seen that?
Yes, the lady in Japan.
And she got fined.
Right.
I think she was also in jail for a while.
Yeah,
but I think that they decided to only fine her for the obscenity of making a vulva kayak. Right. I forget her name.
Which is really ironic because the penis is worshipped in all of those Asian countries. I visited Korea, and the people are lovely. They're beautiful. But it was penis parks, penis sculptures, and the female facilities were a hole in the ground. Like, I had to squat over a ceramic hole. It was not good because we don't pee well that way.
But you poop well that way. That's why they do it like that.
Oh, because your knees are supposed to be up, right?
Yeah, it's just good for pooping.
Yeah, knees raised above.
Like, I've thought about this because I think that would be helpful for pooping. But
yes,
for peeing,
but
negligible.
Vagina kayak.
But vagina kayak.
Or vulva kayak.
Well, and she's also made amazing, like, little sculptures of vulvas where there are, like, little men walking over the vulva. I mean, she does some really amazing art.
Right. And how ballsy is that?
That's really ballsy.
We need to come up with a different name than ballsy, right? Like, making...
clitorally.
Really vulvy of her.
Yeah.
Vulvy activist.
How do I decide if a not broken toy needs to hit the trash? I don't really throw anything away. It's terrible. I've thrown away things that were broken, but never something that was not broken.
Right.
That I can recall. So I keep them for some stupid reason that I don't understand. I don't know. I'm always worried that I'm going to need it somehow.
Right.
Someday.
You might need to cut it up and inspect it.
I don't know.
There's
so I give away some of my toys to family members and friends and stuff like that.
Family members, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh, yes. I had a great time with my aunt. She came over. Yes. It was like specifically planned that she was going to come over and look at my collection and take some stuff. Because I have that sweet closet.
Isn't it amazing
now.
when you have a breakthrough with someone that you never expected? Our shipping manager just had a breakthrough with her cousin.
Good.
And we had gone through all these caveats to get a toy for her. And when she got it, she was like, it's too big. Although she thought she was a size queen. We're like, here's the Fun Factory Big Boss. But we sent her lube. And our shipping manager said, did you try it with the lube? And she said, no. And then she tried it with the lube, and she was like, oh my God. Changed
lube is everything.
Everything.
Come on, I should do an experiment.
I'm like, you just converted your first person. That was amazing. So it was a big win for her. She's become this advocate, and she never saw herself in this field, and she's just fucking amazing. I love her.
That's awesome.
But she's advocating now, and I'm like, this is just one person at a time.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, my aunt, she sent me a thank you card after, like a handwritten thank you card.
That's big.
And it said, "Thank you for introducing me to the finer pleasures in life."
Because it is fine.
And it was just so sweet. I was like, that's like, yes, that's perfect.
That's
and I have all these toys.
Cool.
I should give them to people who need them. You know.
No, but you need them for science too.
But most of the time I have to keep them because I'm concerned about comparisons in the future. So I don't throw stuff away. Yeah. Thank you for the hearts, guys. You're so nice. Oh, right? Someone asked, glycerin and lube is bad, right? Yes. Usually. I mean, if you have a vagina, yes. Because glycerin can act like a sugar in your body, so it can promote yeast infections.
And it won't harm or won't be hurtful to everyone, but it's better to stay away from it because you don't want to.
So it depends on how sensitive you are to sugars, basically. But it is.
But there's vegetable glycerin too, which is confusing. It is confusing. Which is better, but not all companies are specifying that they're using vegetable glycerin. I know we're going through a big lube rehaul on our site, and it's really, really confusing.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like less is more right now. So we're getting rid of a lot.
And it's hard to make the distinction, like what's bad for most people and what's bad for only a few people, and maybe
all that matters is what's happening to you. So
yeah,
you have to really take care with that. But lube is everything.
I was thinking when you said that, I was like, if I masturbated at all without lube, I would be like, masturbation sucks, and sex toys suck, and I kind of hate them all. So. Like, I mean, that changes so much.
Yeah, it changes everything.
I mean, warm up is good too,
Right.
obviously, but like lube really is so important, and lube everywhere, like on the outside of your
Right.
vulva. That's where I really run into problems. Is I'll lube up the toy and insert it, but then I realize that it's still dry on the outside.
Friction is not your friend.
Friction, no good. Stop. So buy lube, but glycerin-free lube if you can. I wanted to ask you about your memories of me when we started working together, because it's been so long and I don't really, and we didn't know that we would become so close.
Right.
And,
you know, what is really interesting to me is that we, as a company, really felt, stupid's not the right word, but we didn't feel like we could enter.
Ill-equipped.
We were ill-equipped. Ill-equipped we watched the blogosphere for a long time before we entered that world. And I have to tell you that you specifically, you taught me so much, because I didn't realize that we had to have an affiliate program to make it worthwhile for people to review for you, because that's the trade-off. You know, it's not enough. The toy is not the payment for the service of a review or the write-up. There's so much work that goes into your end of it.
Yeah.
Especially when you do it like you do. It's different when you're, testing the toy one time and writing a review. You really need to test that toy over several weeks, over several moods, over several situations, because we're all so different. And you taught me everything, and you were such my go-to person. You were amazing.
Like, before I knew that
you scared me, though.
Oh, everyone's scared by me, which is excellent.
But I love that. Yes, it's great. But you've always been firm in who you are and what you stand for, and I respected that. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not just some retailer that's going to come in here and tell her how it's going to be. I'm going to listen to her, because she kind of rocks my socks.
Did I come to you, or did you come to me first? I can't remember.
I don't know. I know that we, before we had an affiliate program, tried to do something stupid, like, I don't know, let's not even talk about that.
You did something
like,
stupid.
Here. No, we were like, we'll give you this little bit off each sale. The thing is that when you're operating on pennies, you are extremely careful. And that's where we were at that time. And then when we kind of understood a little bit how the business worked, and that you needed to have a bigger view of things, and that bloggers and reviews were part of that. And reviews, good or bad. That was another thing that we struggled with at first too, is like, do you allow bad reviews? And we were like, you have to, because that's just real. That's just the way it is. And you can't fake it. You can't act like this toy is great when it's not great. And people need to know that. And you get enough bad reviews and you take that shit off your site.
Right. Well, and there's a difference between, like, I hated it, didn't work for me, or like the paint chipped off. There's a difference.
Or that it pinched my vulva and I'd want to scream, oh my God.
Like a lobster.
I thought that you were a force to be reckoned with.
I guess so.
And I thought you were amazing. And I have a lot of respect for you.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet.
You're like that.
I remember thinking I loved your art and I thought it was fantastic, but I wasn't sure if other people were going to love it as much.
No, and we know they don't.
Yeah.
We get it. We are building a new site, and we realized, and I said this in the panel that we just did, was that we had this unique opportunity to draw anything we wanted. And what we drew was white people. It was really, on our part, was just naivete.
Right.
And we came from an angle of white, cis, hetero people with our own experiences. The bubble. We're going to pop those bubbles. But that's what we realized.
Our theme.
We're building a new site, and it hopefully will be much more pleasing to everyone.
Sugarcunt wanted to know, which, first of all, I love saying that every time I say it, especially in public. She said, what's the hardest part about working with bloggers? Let's be real, we're not always perfect.
No,
listen, I'm glad that they put that in.
No, it's an honor to work with bloggers. Amazing array of personalities. And I think what I would want everyone to know is that if we can't take you on as a reviewer. It's simply a numbers game. That's really all it is. I really feel like everyone deserves attention and a relationship and a back and forth, and I could only give that to so many people.
Right.
So when I say I can't take you on right now, it's not because it's a special club or anything like that. It's just simply there's not enough of me to go around because I run the review program. But really, I don't have a problem with the bloggers. The only thing that I just want them to know, it's never personal. You know, we're always looking at things from a business sense, and I have to do what's best for my business. So if you're brand new and you have 45 followers, I just need you to grow your business a little bit, because your business and my business can do great things once we reach a certain point. And
that's a really good way of putting it.
Right. It's not, you know, you do have to pay your dues, and you can't adopt a voice that's not yours. You have to understand who you are, and you can't go, oh, I like what she wrote, I'm going to try to copy that, because that happens all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. You know.
Yeah, people do. I know, it's weird, and I don't know why, because it's so much easier to write in your own voice
with
than
your
it
own
is to write in
experience.
someone
Write what
else's
you know,
voice.
right? Didn't Hemingway say that? Write what you know.
That's the most important, writing advice.
Right.
And it's the best way to be a good reviewer, specifically, because it's so focused on your own personal experiences.
And if this path is really meant for you, that will come to you. That will be a no-brainer.
And at first, of course, this is the thing, is when you first start writing, at least for a blog, even if you're a writer, it still feels weird, and you still aren't sure what your voice is, and you get really freaked out about how to portray yourself the best, and how your tone's going to be, and it's never going to, you're going to fuck up, and you're never going to be amazing right away. It's just a fact.
You have to pay your dues.
So when I look at old reviews, I'm like, wow, that's not very well written, and I didn't really... But I wrote more back then. This is the difference. Is back in the day, I would write more often, but the actual quality of the writing wasn't as good. And now I've shifted to, less often posts, but I feel like the quality of the actual piece is better.
Right.
So you find your way and you figure out what you want. And if you're really good at writing stuff really quickly and figuring stuff out, then that's one thing. Someone says, first time in a toy store, stories, advice. Stories, advice. I see people all the time.
Buy everything.
Buy it all. Just ask for the whole store. That's actually an interesting question, because I do work a couple days a week on the floor at a sex toy store. I would say don't be afraid to ask questions. That's the main thing. People come in a lot and clearly are trying to avoid me and not look at me and not acknowledge
She's
that they're...
She's going to sell me a car.
Yeah, they just don't want to... They don't want to say words like vibrator, dildo.
Right. They don't.
They will do anything to not say them. And they don't want to ask for what they want, which is really sad, because there's, you need to know where you're going in the store to find... Like, if you're looking for nipple clamps, they're kind of hidden, so you need to ask if you can't find them. And, I don't want people to leave feeling disappointed like they couldn't find the thing. So just...
And none of those people are judging you.
Realizing, exactly. Right. I was going to say, realize that we've heard it all. It's not new. It's not new to us. Whatever you say is probably less weird than someone else we've heard, And the more information you can give us, honestly, is really the better, I feel like. I mean, not to the point of being a creepy perv, but, to the point of saying, well, when I'm with a partner with a penis, this happens. When I'm alone, this happens. I mean, just honesty and transparency like that can really help us guide people. But when they're generalizing, that's when I find it difficult to recommend anything.
Right.
They're just like, well, what can I use with a partner? And they don't tell me what genitals that partner has.
And that comes from us being so shamed.
What they want that toy to do, what they like, it's just... So, yeah, and exactly. I mean, that's
having more of that conversation in the first place.
Not used to talking about it, and I totally get that coming to a stranger in a sex shop is not the ideal scenario for telling someone about your sex life, but in order to get a toy that's not going to suck, you do have to open up at least a little bit. Because I see so many people come in, they don't talk to us, and then they just pick something crappy, and then they buy it, and I'm like, oh, if you just asked me. But there are people who come. The other day, it was really funny. Someone was checking out with the Mona. They were buying the Lelo Mona, which is one of my favorite toys. And as they were checking out, which is one of my pet peeves, I hate when people ask me stuff when they're checking out. Is this any good? Is this a good one? Is this a good choice? And I was like,
sure.
Yeah, well, in this case, yes. It is a good choice. You nailed it. But her friend, who was with her, was trying to buy the Lelo hula beads.
Oh, which I actually like, and we differ on
Okay,
that.
well, there you go. And so, but when you asked me directly like that, you know, is this a good choice? Well, so we definitely had like a long talk before they actually bought them. But then I felt so much better because they had the information.
Right.
And they knew what could go wrong with the toy. Right. Not that it would, but it could, or what could not work. But they still bought it. And so having even just that information is so much better than going in blind thinking, I guess it'll be okay.
Or that you come out going, I bought this and I'm broken because it didn't work for me.
Yes.
I'm broken. It's not how it works.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential for that to occur. And so that would be my advice for being in a sex store. Ask questions. But don't make them creepy questions. Which I feel like that's an easy line, but for some people it's not. Don't tell me about your penis, or like that you need a specific size of dildo because of your penis or something like that. Basically, don't tell me about your penis. That's what it comes down to. No penis talk. I don't want to know. We've run out of wine. Well, I'm about to run out of wine. So there you go.
Do we need our garçons?
What?
Garçon.
What's that? Yes. I want to ask you, what sort of products have you picked up that you didn't think would sell, but turned out that they did? Or even vice versa, that you picked up that you thought would sell but did not?
This was one of those questions that we talked about. You know, the womanizer.
Oh, yes, the womanizer.
That was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. And also, it's small stuff. Sugar sack. It's toy storage.
Toy storage. Oh, okay.
Toy storage is lacking in this industry.
It really is.
Because all the companies, they make these big, beautiful chests and then they go out of business. But you also realize that people
they make something that's this big.
But we've also had people be really upset with the fact that they buy something like the Tallulah case, which is beautiful, but because it's soft-sided, they're upset that somebody could feel the...
I would have never thought of that.
Right? It's an interesting thing. So somebody's picked up your toy case and you're worried about them feeling the shape of a dildo.
Because they're going to feel it, not open it. They're just going to awkwardly grope it.
Right.
As people do.
But people have these interesting, I don't want to... hang-ups is the word that comes to mind, but it's these interesting tics when it comes to sex toys because there's so much shame that surrounds them. And... toy storage is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Huge thing. Those are things that sell like crazy. The womanizer is really the only toy I can think of because it's promised.
That you didn't think would sell, but did.
I didn't believe it. And then I tried it and I was like, oh.
That's true.
Okay.
No one believed it at first.
No one believed it. What, did you try the womanizer?
Yes.
It steals orgasms from you.
It does. It's very sneaky and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I like is a strong word, I feel like. There should be something in between indifference and liking, and that's how I feel about the womanizer, kind of. But I got the Pro, and now the Pro has more settings.
Is it a Pro?
A Pro at what? It's not a Pro at being cute, that's for sure.
Right.
But it is better in that it has the higher settings, because I was a little bit concerned for the price that it didn't have enough of the higher settings originally. But it's not for me.
No. Not for me either.
Shout out to my dildo hutch. Oh, I don't have a hutch. Are you thinking of Erika Moen? Because she has a hutch.
She does have a hutch.
I'm not Erika Moen, but I do have a dildo closet. So
it's
pretty cool.
That's storage.
Yeah, that's why I find it hard to recommend storage to people because I have so many toys. So my storage is just tons and tons of plastic drawers.
Or Joellen with her over-the-door shoe organizer.
Yeah, the shoe organizer is fantastic.
Brilliant.
But mine is like not discreet at all.
Right.
people are always wanting something that's discreet, and I'm like, mine's clear. I'm not really sure. That's okay. I'm glad you associated me with Erika Moen. I have met her. I have a dildo office, yes. True. My entire office is dildos. A question that you asked me is, are sex toys always part of your sexual encounters? Or do you ever go commando? Which I like the way you said that. So do you, when you say commando, do you mean you just mean fingers, like, or you mean
without toys?
Without toys. Sometimes I have sex without toys, but masturbation wise, I almost never masturbate with my fingers. It's very rare. It only happens usually when I wake up and I've had a hot dream and I'm too lazy to go get the toys because they're in the other room.
I like it. Or
I'm feeling ready to like make that commitment to the fingers because, you know, it's very stressful and takes a lot longer. And I feel like my technique is not that good because I don't do it that often. So it just takes me longer.
My technique is not that good.
My technique's not that good. I don't know. Yeah. So not often is the answer. Which I think is good, probably, because I don't. And I also feel really guilty when I don't use toys, you know? I'm like, well, I could have been testing something right now, but... Like, do I ever masturbate just to masturbate? Not that often. You know,
Okay.
like, most masturbation is for a reason and has a purpose, and then I have to use at least one thing that's new to me. I can't just use all the toys I want.
Well, I know you have this great layout, like your tools of...
I lay them out on my desk, and then I use half of them. But, you know,
it's impressive.
It's called wishful thinking. Which toy that bloggers really like or is really popular have you not tried?
You're gonna kill me.
Yeah,
because
I'm
you
sure.
You already know what I'm gonna say.
I'm sure
it's the Enjoy One.
But I'll still
every day. I'm like, I need to be an Enjoy One. I need to be an Enjoy One. I need a Pure Wand to be more specific.
Yeah,
I haven't bought it from myself, which is ridiculous. There's a whole pile of them outside of my office.
They're right there.
And they're beautiful and they're lovely and they're magical, and I don't know why. I don't know why the reason is.
Yes, what is the reason?
I don't have time for masturbation.
Well,
I don't know.
But see, that one
Isn't
you
that
don't need
sad?
time. That's why it's so good, because you don't need time. You just stick it in.
In homage to you, I'm going to grab a Pure Wand.
Will you really?
Yes.
I will be.
It
if
has
you
to be
hate
done.
it, I will forever hate
I don't
myself.
think I'll hate it.
But I don't think you'll hate it.
Maybe I think I'll be spending too much time with it and that I don't have that time. I don't know.
Like I said, though, it can be very fast with that toy because it's that good.
Yeah, it's like amazing that I have not. I also don't own a Tango. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Or do we?
Touch, Tango? Both? None?
I don't know.
That's okay. I can forgive that. But the Pure Wand is one of those things that
right.
I just...
It's really
I bought
ridiculous.
I got one for my mom for Christmas, so that's how important it is. I got her a Pure Wand and a Hitachi.
Amazing. Wow.
I was like, Mom, now's the time.
Right.
Now you will...
Live it up.
I've barely asked her about it because I'm worried that she's going to be like, I tried it and it was mediocre, but...
It's all right.
You know. At least she has the
buy
Hitachi
your
for
mom
her back.
That's, which is actually all we use ours for. It's plugged in
it's
the
great
living
for
room.
that. I got a weird blog comment the other day where someone was like, it was on my Hitachi review. Yeah, but how does it work for backs? I'm not a back massager reviewer.
That's funny.
I don't know. It feels like a vibrator on my back. I don't know.
It's very effective. Thank you.
Okay, I think we are near the end. I think we have one more. So if anyone's thinking about more questions, now's the time to articulate them. You asked me, have you ever felt like you had to raise the bar for yourself sexually, or has it been a natural progression of curiosity? I like this question as well. You have very good questions.
I had a hard time wording that, so I didn't want it to sound...
No, it's good.
Trite.
It's good. It's a good question because I feel like there's still so much more that I don't know that I could do, but it would be forced. So I think the answer is that it is more of a natural progression.
Right.
I sort of try things here and there that are different maybe, but less of a journey that I've created for myself. Like, for instance, e-stim. I was never super interested in it, but then there was the intensity that did the e-stim, and I thought, I'll just try that, see what I think of that. Hated it.
Right.
But it made me understand what e-stim feels like.
Right.
Enough to be like, okay, and then I tried the neon wand, and I fucking love the neon wand.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because it's not in my vagina.
Okay.
e-stim in my vagina, making your vagina contract involuntarily is weird. But on your skin, it's great.
Yeah.
So that was something that I definitely would have never probably gotten into without sex toys, without being, in the industry. And I still feel like I'm behind with, like, BDSM stuff, but that was something that taught me something about what I like, that expanded my horizons of...
Oh, that's cool.
Of sex. But otherwise, I don't feel like I really do that often. Definitely sizable toys is something that was a natural progression that I wouldn't have done if I didn't have all the toys to build up to the bigger toys.
And I think that's the thing, too, is that when you start to explore, there's things that in a million years you had not considered, like a clit clamp or a nipple clamp or whatever.
Oh, that's a good point.
And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I get that. And it's only because you're exploring yourself. And that's why when folks are first buying toys and they're, the focus is kind of narrow, but when they start to expand how they're looking at them and exploring themselves, they're like, oh, this might work for me. You're like, I never thought I'd put something in my ass, but all of a sudden that sounds really intriguing to me. Today's the day! Oh my God, who used to say that? There was forget it.
Is it before my time?
Yeah.
That happens to me a lot.
It's an old commercial reference.
People are always about to make references and they're like, oh, you wouldn't know.
I'm an old lady.
Like, I'm sorry, I just was born in 86.
I graduated in 85. Are you fucking kidding me?
But that's so great. I mean, that's awesome that we are together, and I feel like we get along so well. And part of being in this industry that has been awesome is meeting older people.
Right.
And being friends with older people. Like, when would you ever get to do that in your regular life? I barely make friends to begin with, so like, and I was talking to Joan Price last night, and she is fantastic, and it's just, there's so much to learn, together from each person. We all have our things that we know really well and things that we don't know that well, and that's...
Right.
So, yeah, and I was thinking about clit pumps, because I had never tried one until I got one, maybe like a year ago. And I always thought it would be cooler than it is.
No, me too. I know. But they don't suction like they say they're going to. They don't fit your body. Those are another problematic
They suction, but they're not, well, the one I have is like a pretty good one. It's not one of the shitty, like, Cal Exotics ones, but it still isn't arousing.
Right.
So that's my problem with...
It's not your thing.
My review is, it's kind of not my thing, and that's a hard thing to write about.
Right.
But I'm glad I tried it. Things like nipple clamps, definitely are new. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but no one had ever put a butt plug in my butt for me until like a couple of months ago. And when that happened, I was like, this is awesome.
This is so much better than when I have to do it.
It really is. It adds like a whole new dimension to
garçon, wine, and butt plugs.
And I'm like, damn, why did I wait so long? So,
but that's the thing. It's the
I had
framing
to be,
of it.
I had to be ready. It had to be the right day, right toys, the right person, the right lighting. Like, everything had to be right. So
yes.
So it's really awesome to be able to do that kind of thing. But I'm still not going to just like start reviewing BDSM toys just because people want me to.
No,
sorry.
Of course.
Sorry, world. Because everyone is like, when are you...
We have other folks
review some paddles. I don't know what's a good paddle and what's a bad paddle. Right. You hit someone with it and it makes a sound and a feeling. I don't know. So I think those are the questions.
Okay.
So if anyone has any last questions... Oh, someone asked something earlier and then I put it in my mind. They said, what's the best cleaner for silicone toys? The best cleaner for silicone toys is soap and water.
Right.
It's a great cleaner.
Dishwasher.
Yeah, you can, if it doesn't have a motor, you can put it in your dishwasher as long as it is actually 100% silicone. And if you just want to wash it, then you can use, I'm terrible, I just use like dish soap. I don't even do... Some people do Dr. Bronner's.
I think that's what we use is the hand soap.
Hand soap.
Hot water.
Whatever's there. Just It's fine. You don't need a cleaner. The cleaners are more for, like, if you're camping or you're doing something where you need it, like, wet. You know, where you don't want the gunk to dry. That's helpful. Tips for boiling. Get a silicone, what are those things called that you use for barbecuing with the clamp on the end? Tongs. Yes, get tongs. Get tongs. That's my tip for boiling.
Tong.
Because how else are you going to get them out of the pot when it's boiling?
Right.
You
and
could
don't
let
boil
it
them
cool,
for too long. Right?
I guess,
Although silicone's amazing because
you can go for it. I mean, you can go
spatulas
for a
and
while.
cookie sheets. Yeah.
Yeah. So boil it for like 5 to 10 minutes. Get your tongs. Use a pot that's clean. Seems it'd be a simple thing, but you never know.
Or you could just wash it with soap and water.
Or you could just wash it with soap and water. The boiling's really like a more extreme measure if you want to feel like it's really, really clean. Right. But silicone is fine with soap and water, so... I was very proud of myself. I bought special tongs that are silicone. Because the regular ones that are metal, I was like, what if it, hurts the
Don't you always expect it to fail and it just doesn't?
What?
Like the silicone. You're like, it
that's
possibly
true.
have held up to this. It's a fucking amazing material.
Yeah, silicone is rad. So, anything else? Any other questions? I like the questions. I'm glad you guys sent them to us.
The hearts are awesome.
Aren't the hearts
so encouraging?
I know.
It's like that friendly
just
face
when you're
of the
starting
crowd.
to feel concerned, you're like, okay.
It's okay. I like you.
There's 151 people. That's a lot of people.
We should make out.
Yeah, then we'd get a lot more people.
Like with your mom.
That. No, I would make out with you. So
you're really cute.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching us. We had a great time.
Thank you.
And if you want to buy sex toys, go to SheVibe.com.
But read about them first.
Read about them on my website.
Epiphora's
yes.
blog.
Epiphora.com. Good luck spelling that. Bye.
Bye.